Hi everyone, welcome to Linka Online. This is going to be the second video on the casting with resin. I'm just going to quickly go through it again. In the kit we've got the same amount of A, 250 mils, 250 mils of B, so exactly the same amount. Bottle of wax, which we're going to wax your moulds with. You get your cups and you get your mixing cups and your stirrers and your gloves. So the kit will be online shortly, you'll be able to see that. Might be on by the time you see this video, it might be a week or so, but it's coming. I'm going to do two moulds here. I'm going to do the Tudor TTO1 just so we can see the level of detail that we get, and I'm going to use the one of the later ones, the MBO4, the brick one. So over the next coming weeks I'm going to do more and more of these different moulds so you can see what's coming on. And also just be aware is everything that's being tested and is suitable for resin will be marked on each product on the website. So I'm gonna, can't find my marker, so cup A, cup B. As I sort of said before, you just put the cups side by side so you can see the levels. Hopefully we'll get some quantities to you shortly for each of the moulds so you know the quantity, but you don't have to worry too much, because what we're going to do here is we're going to use a little cleverer method of doing it. So here's part A and part B. I've pre-waxed this with a brush, so I've just got a brush, waxed in there, let it dry 5 minutes, done it again because they were new, they'd not been used, these particular moulds, so I wanted to do it twice. So doing it properly. Give these a good shake obviously before you do it. I've already done that. So you measure in equal parts of A and B exactly. You can use a line on your cup if you like, just draw a line across, or you can do it by weight, however you want to do it. Everything's fine, you go as long as you want, whatever they're in the two separate cups, A, B. So what I'm actually going to do is get a measuring cup. I just use the back of a paintbrush for stirring, I always have done. So what I'm actually going to do is just mix a small proportion. So in this particular case I'll just pour about half in there, and same again, just leave it the same amount behind. There we go. Mix that up. You only need to mix it for 5 or 10 seconds, very vigorous. You don't worry about air bubbles, it's not casting material, it is resin. That's already beginning to go off. Pours liquidy, very much like water, very slowly into your mould. You're not going to scrape the back off, you're just going to sort of drip it in there until that particular cast is as full as you want it to be. Okay. I'm being exact about science here because that's not what this is about. This is just to show you the product. 50% of A, 50% of B, stir it quickly, pour it straight into your mould and just let it run in, and it should find its own way in. So here I'm doing the Tudor TTO1. Some of you may be aware it's got a very fine detail on the face. I'm not tapping this, I'm not shaking it, I'm not doing anything, I'm just pouring it in and I'm just going to let it go off, and all the detail should come out. You shouldn't get a single air bubble. That's a pretty good guess on how much stuff I needed to do this mould. But then again, I've had plenty of practice. A couple of drops on that, just thicken it up a bit. That one too. Okay. You've got to remember you can't use this cup again. Yeah, because if I pour that into there now, this is already going off, it'll just accelerate that. So you've only got few minutes. Very, very clear. Everything's clear. it will start to go white as it starts to go off, and I can actually see little traces of white appearing in there now already. So you've only got a few minutes and that's it, you want to be finished. In fact, that's going white fairly quickly now. It's just decided it's going. This gets, that cup's feeling really quite hot. Okay, so whilst that's doing that, another cup. Yeah, still exactly the same. Part A. You normally mark your cups up because you can keep putting more in there as long as you don't mix anything up here. Part B, sorry, don't use the same stirrer, don't forget that's going off on the end of there. Just get another one. You can use a lollipop stick, etc. I just seem to have run out of everything. Part B in there, stir it up, new stirrer, quick 3, 4, 5 seconds, not much at all, and away you go, start pouring. Yeah, so in this one I'm pouring it in here because I want to see it actually find its way down those windows. Perfect. It's just like pouring a clear oil. It finds its way everywhere on its own without you having to do any of the work at all. You just want to not over pour and don't get it on the face of the windows because you're only going to have to file it out. But I'm just going fairly quick here now. And into the second mould. Okay, and round the next one. And I said on the last video, it's a fast cast system. It's supposed to be fast, but you're only supposed to do small quantities at once. But as you can see, it's just a different technique. So instead of mixing as much powder as I need for maybe 6 moulds, just top these up a little bit. You just mix what you need for one. And that's pretty good. I'm going to stop at that point. No point messing around with it. These are the cups for the discard. I'm going to discard those. You can wipe off your stirrers and use them again. So just a bit of tissue, just wipe those off. 10 minutes later you can use them again, so that's fine. Or throw away lollipop sticks. Okay, I'm just going to keep those cups over there, A and B to the left. You can probably see that that is going very, very white now. Yeah? And yeah, okay, maybe I shouldn't be lifting it up really at this stage, but that one's definitely well on its way. Still very, very soft. The second one here, very, very runny. It's like liquid still. 10 minutes. I would say give it 10 minutes from this point forward. When it's gone white and it's starting to feel quite hard, then it's tough. On the first video, which I only made literally 15 minutes ago, the pieces that I made there are getting quite hard now. They're getting to the point where they won't bend anymore. So they're getting much, much tougher, and that's just in 15 minutes. Same as that. If I bend that, it just comes back to its original. Within the next hour or so, they'll be absolutely nice and solid. Okay, so I'm going to pause this video and come back in 5 minutes, and maybe 10, and we'll start taking this out. So 10 past 7, I'll see you at 20 past 7. Okay guys, so we've given that, it's been about 25 minutes actually, to just dry off nice and solid. So you can see it's white, and if you tap it, you can hear it's pretty solid. Again, you can leave it longer if you want. You could have carried on working through your moulds and then just take these out whenever you're ready. Leave them until next day if you want. There's no real panic. The longer you leave them, actually, it's generally easier to come out, but you can take them out fairly early. And they don't break like you get with a casting. Just sometimes take a little bit more pulling out, that's all. Okay, hope you can see that. Not a single air bubble inside. Absolutely 100% perfect. Every tiny bit of detail is there You don't get any air bubbles even on these fine lines. So it's really good. Again, just leave them flat on there. You'll see that they're still a bit flexible. Yeah, so just pull the edge of the mould away from it. And if you're gonna do lots of casting in resin, then as you wax up your mould more and more, they just get easier and easier to come out. Obviously don't wax them if you're going to put casting material in. That's the other half. Absolutely spot on. Solid, feels like plastic. You know, you glue those together. There we go. And you've got a perfect piece. So good solid buildings you can make with those. If you're using them for wargaming, or you're going to be a bit more heavy-handed with it, rather than the normal casting material, this stuff's a lot tougher. You don't get the air bubbles, they come out every time, but you just don't scrape the back, because you'll just spread it all over the mould and then you'll just be trimming it all off. And every piece is absolutely spot on. And if I had somebody doing the camera for me here, then they could maybe focus in. But every tiny detail is there. So I'm just whizzing these out a bit quicker now. That's a little 2-1. Let's have a look at these wall sections. I just felt myself crack that last little bit off that bottom there, as I was a little bit heavy-handed there when I took it out. But you won't normally get that. Yeah, just ease all your edges away. Don't do what I just did. There you go. There you go. Spot on. Yeah. Very, very white. So it's harder to see unless you're in a good light. Just break away the bit that's there. It's your 2 section. One section, and these little tiny ones here. See where I dripped it there? Just peel that off. And these will be nice and solid by the time we start building. You could build with those now. You could start gluing those together. Absolutely fine. Yeah. So that was the Tudor TO1 with the fine detail in it. Okay, so this one is the B04. Yeah. See the detail on the door? Absolutely spot on. I did these slightly after, if you remember. Still a little bit soft, but there we go. You can take this flash out of the window afterwards. I'll just trim out. It usually just pulls off, but you use a knife, Stanley knife, anything you like. Not worried about anything breaking. It's a 2-window one. The other side, single window. We just did. Just laying these here. I've got a pile of these castings everywhere. You see how that's still quite soft. You see me do it on the first video. If you wanted to create a curved building and you get something curved like that and you put an elastic band around that, leave that till morning, that'll set in that position and it can still be adjusted by heating it up. Unlike casting, casting's casting, you're stuck with it. With this you've got a little bit of flexibility. So if you wanted something nice and curved, or you wanted to build, I don't know, a tower of some description, yeah, there you go. Nice curved piece. Yeah. Same thing, just flatten it out if you want it flat. Wherever you're going to leave it to cool off, that's how it's going to set. If you get any warping, just warm it up a little bit and it'll twist and shape. Yeah, not as much as that. These are the ones we did earlier, and you'll see I can't bend that. No chance. I can get a little bit of flex in it, but it's solid. Getting these out then, this is the 3-bar one, so I left this one till last. Go around the edges, don't even worry about the windows, just peel it out. There we go. Flatten it out. Perfect casting. So you can start building with these pretty much as soon as they're hard enough. I'd leave them a little bit longer than this, but off you go. Just start connecting them together, gluing them up, and you're away. So just going back to the casting, if you remember, I've got 2 moulds sat here, A and B. Mix, you can fill these up to the top if you want, yeah, but generally put in what you think you're going to use for a single mould. Pour those in the cup, mix it up, keep your A and B there, pour it into here. If you've got a little bit of excess, carry on into your next mould, just keep filling one, just fill a full piece. If you haven't got enough, just leave a full piece, etc. And then you can keep topping that up with A and B, keep using your plastic cups and just keep going mould after mould after mould. So on a good session, I've sat here for about an hour and done about 20 moulds in an hour. So 20 times 6 or 8 pieces, that's a lot of pieces fairly quick. And you can just keep rolling on, just laying them all out till you have a glass table or whatever it is, your flat surface full of casts, and away you go. You've got shed loads of whatever you need. Similarly, you don't have to fill every one of these, you just fill, you know, whatever you need particularly. There's no scraping off, there's no cleaning the mould, you don't have to clean it. If you do want to clean it and you're going to go back from casting to, casting in resin to normal casting, I just recommend you wash it in nice, fairly hot water. It just gets the wax back off the surface and the casting material will go in easier. Similarly, if you're going from normal casting to resin casting, yeah, wash them down, let them fully dry, a couple of coats of wax on there, 5 minutes in between each lot, get all your moulds ready and cast away in your resin. And that's it till next time. I will be putting some more videos on shortly with loads of the other moulds to show you coming out, but I think you'll get the gist. It just works, it's fairly fast, fairly straightforward. And as I said, all the products that are suitable that have been tested will be marked up with resin on the shop. So if you go on there and it says Tough Cast Ultimate, Herculite, whatever it may be, and resin, this is the resin I'm talking about that it's suitable for. Not all resins, because we've had some resins that just destroy the moulds, or somebody's told me they have. I haven't tried those myself, but this is the one that we'll be using. Okay, so keep building guys, and see you soon. Bye.